Deadair Hardcore Radio, exploring the world's best hardcore punk and all the various subgenres. For the next 2 hours we will enter a world apart from the rest. The time is now.
Stand to the side, be right the hardcore ride. How can you save me when you can't save yourself? Ready to fight.
Yo, what's up with that? Let's start jamming.
All right, you're listening to Dead Air, 2 hours of hardcore radio. I don't know what to fucking say.
You're listening to Dead Air, 2 hours of hardcore radio.
Do you hear this? Do you hear this guy? You hear this guy?
Do you fucking hear me?
You can't cuss on the radio, dog.
Sorry. Do you trucking hear me?
All right, so you're listening to Dead Air, 2 hours of hardcore radio. If you haven't heard this before, we play hardcore songs. We just fucking tell you that we like them. We just we hang out, we shoot the shit, play it in a radio format because we're a radio show first. Shout out to people who listen to the live radio show as well as the podcast. You can go to deadairhardcoreradio.com for more information. This week, I have an accidental guest. I mean, I was going to have him on like a million years ago, but he's busy stacking them crackers. I mean like actual snack crackers.
Yeah.
Not like killing white people and having a bad body count.
Wow, I can see how that could really like be really bad. Yeah, I was stacking crackers and then I get canceled.
Dude, don't worry. I've heard cancellation has kind of petered off. So, I mean, stacking crackers, I think we're in the clear.
I don't know, man. Like, I feel okay. So people love to like just dig up dirt, you know. So give it 5 years, and someone will just like, you know, at me and then space cracker and just look up like my whole like Twitter history on that, and then they're gonna find one from 2014 where I was like, I have Ritz crackers on my butt or something.
Well, dude, so back in the day, this still happens. I am the worst for getting hacked, and people say stupid stuff on my Twitter, and I don't pay attention because like during like 2009 to like, you know, early 2012, I was not very active on Twitter because I didn't see the point in it. Like I didn't feel like I had much of a social life outside of being a holy man of God or whatever. So people would hack my shit and my friends would write stuff, and your partner dug up a bunch of it would like these things where apparently my friends would tweet and say that I'm gay. This was like a couple years ago, I think, when the people really started like looking up and like finding out, oh, we could type in the name and the keyword and see what happens. And I woke up to your partner just liking all these things saying that I'm gay or that's gay. And I was like, I did not fucking say that. like even when I was like living in a right-wing Hicksville, like I did not like speak like that or say shit like that.
Right.
There were people that did say stuff like that, and I was a little desensitized, but there was that was just not me, because I also didn't really cuss at the time either.
Yeah.
And now it's like it's all over.
Oh yeah,
But
dude.
but I don't say you know, I don't like, that's just not a sentence that is like natural to me. So like when I saw that, I was like, what the fuck? Like, but people have done that throughout my life. Like for the longest time, I think for 2 years, I let somebody put a picture of Caillou on my Facebook.
Oh my god, I remember that.
And it just stayed there, like straight up.
I remember at one point my mom was like, "Oh, did Trevor get a haircut?" When she saw that picture.
Wait, that was a cartoon.
Exactly. I think she was just trying to be funny, but at first I was like, "What? What do you mean?"
It was a goddamn cartoon.
Yeah, dude. My favorite Trevor hacked moment was the incarnation of Trev. Okay, you have to help me out on this one. Trevbot Jazz Dad. Do you remember that?
Trevbot Strikes or what?
Yeah, Trevbot Strikes. Yo,
Trevbotic Strikes.
Yo, dude, that was my favorite Trevor moment on the internet.
That was a good moment. Like I was a pretty I would say I'm like a C-list Twitter celebrity at the time.
Yeah, no, you were definitely getting like retweeted, liked, you know, definitely popping up on the TL.
Somebody I'd made jokes. People thought I was way serious, that I was like, somebody thought I was like actually like letting it get to my head, like that I was like Twitter, like not like Twitter famous via somebody's fake Twitter that they made about me. And they were like, I said, "Hey, meet and greets at Rainfest 2014."
Oh God.
And they're like, "You really think these people are gonna?" I was like, "No, shut the fuck up. Why would I actually think that?" I remember also when we were both, I think K10 was still in charge of Dead Air at the time. So I remember one of the classes at KGRG, we like I did the music department or something. Did I do music or promotions? One of those. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All I know was we spent the entire class talking about my tweets on the on that Twitter.
And this was like one of those classes where you're like in front of like students, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was in one of those classes. So like you're just in there talking about like your celebrity account. Did kids have any questions?
I think I think their question was, why am I spending my time in this fucking class? I think that's why attendance started getting back. Like, so to be honest, I found out that one of my classes later on, because I was about to retake a class that I thought I dropped out of. Mm-hmm. I accidentally never dropped out of it, but I got a 4.0 anyway. I showed up to 2 classes.
What class was this?
This was one of the classes at KGRG.
Oh, that makes perfect sense. Dude, okay,
so
okay, that totally reminds me of rest his soul, Campy. You remember Campy?
Yep, it's actually been 5 years as of a couple days ago.
That's crazy. On the mark, dude.
On the mark. So his funeral was, and so we went on tour with our band just around the time of his funeral, so that's like a week or 2 from now. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it happened right at the beginning, 2015. But yeah, it was crazy. Like I took one of his last full classes.
Yeah.
In the term right before winter, and I remember he at the end we watched Ancient Aliens during the fucking class. We did, what else did we do? I'm trying to think. We watched Ancient Aliens. He did a thing that he liked to call Fuck Day, where
I have not heard about this.
where he said this was probably, incredibly, it was anyway. It was his last fuck day because he said the word fuck doesn't have the same type of meaning as it did when he started doing it.
Oh, okay. So was it like some sort of like I don't know, just like maybe like
Talked about desensitization and stuff like that. Like
I love his whole seminars.
yeah, but like yeah, like I'm not trying to understand, but there were some in some of these. I can talk now about them because the main classes are still there, but some of the side classes at Green River do not exist anymore. Some of the extra classes for some of the courses I don't think are in play right now.
Oh,
So, but some of the older ones were definitely easy A's, and I think people started to catch on to that.
oh yeah, I brought up Campy because when I took radio production, how he taught that class. I remember like for the final, I just showed him like dead air stuff, and he was like, this is cool. I like what you're doing with this, but I kid you not. He then went off this like tangent of I'm about to go on a date later tonight.
Oh yeah,
And then he was like, it's with this Spanish woman, and he was like, do you know any good like Spanish bands or whatever?
Oh,
and I think initially I was like thinking, I'm like, is he only asking me this because
you're
yeah,
you're Hispanic?
exactly, yeah. I'm like that's at first I was kind of like what the hell, but then the more he kept talking about it, I was like, oh okay, maybe he just would have asked. I think it would have been like far more unlikely if it was like a white person, hey, but I told him, yeah, of course, like I knew some bands, so I basically made him this mixtape, and he essentially forgot to enter in my final for the the grade for the final into the system, and he was like, oh, I just gave you an A because I'm sure what you did was good. And it was during that time where like I was getting, so when we were doing like a lot of dead air stuff, I would kind of intertwine that with this class. And I don't know if you remember this bit, but me, you, and K10, we did this bit one night of a Pokemon. And do you remember that we were like talking about like Pokemon? It was such a vague conversation, but I took that Pokemon bit and I used it, and I just meant to like just use it as a data, but I ended up putting it like on my radio production final, and he didn't even like. It showed that he didn't even open it, but I still got an A. That was my favorite part about Campy.
I remember, didn't we? We showed it to other people. I think we used it as production for that year. And for that one of those months, and people loved that. That was one of the best ones. The ones that when you would record, those are everybody's favorites. When you would record our stupid conversations. I remember there was one time when he called where K10 called Euro hardcore kids whack little dudes.
Hot take.
because I played some Euro hardcore. I forget the exact name, but it was like some Euro type youth crew ish stuff, and he went on a rant of Euro kids sniping records that he on the internet. And that might be one of my fondest memories of host K10, and I'll keep that. I mean, he was even on one of the last shows when we were in Auburn, but still, the whack little dude comment was great.
At the time, I didn't think anything of it, but now, like, looking back on it, that's probably still the most accurate representation of Euro dudes. Whack little dude.
Whack little. That's a little unfair. We've had.
Is it though, bro? Like,
okay, Deadair has been a more Euro friendly show since K10 left. I have a lot of European bands.
Hey, good for you. Sorry to all the Euros. I'm sure y'all are tall, but
sure you are all tall.
Not sure.
Damn, not sure. Oh, so yeah, so you remember that, right?
Yeah.
Has the edge gone dull? I talked about that with Greg because over the summer he called me right before the Bystander release came out in the middle of last summer, and he was just like, he forgot, he thought it was really funny that we remembered that, but he completely straight up forgot that story.
Oh my gosh. I'm, with how much spoken word he does and just all the touring, of his of all of his talks, I'm sure he forgets like a good chunk of things he talks. Not to like any credit, because he has like great things to say, but I'm sure stuff like that it was just probably like a little like whoosh, in and out type of thing.
But at the moment in time, he was Greg was super like, he was ecstatic about it.
Dude, I'm ecstatic about it right now. Not sure, dude. I use that as like as kind of like a performance scale. Like has the edge gone dull? When you're kind of comparing like your current like straight edge state of mind.
Is that, wait, do you compare your current straight edge state of mind?
Sometimes like, okay, so it only like gets brought up. Okay, this is only like personally that I do these things, inner comparisons, right? It only gets brought up when I listen to like a band, let's say like Magnitude, for example.
Okay.
So let's say prior to like at the gig, you're chilling, right? And you're just thinking, has the edge gone dull? And you're like, the flames, still lit, whatever. But then you see a band like Magnitude, right? They fucking do their thing. You're straight edge as fuck by the end, right? And then you're just like, dude, like this flame has now turned into a full on raging bonfire, right? This fucking boner of ember is just fucking, it just like encapes you, dude. And that, I don't know, it's just kind of like this random kind of like just performance scale I've been thinking about, like, has the edge gone dull? And I think I kind of like toyed with playing the idea with it to you, using it as like a scale of a, before and after kind of effect. Like, what's your straight edge like before and after you listen to this band, type of thing, like Inclination, Magnitude, some of my favorite straight edge current bands, But that's just kind of like my take, and feel free to steal that segment for me. I'll be here to deal you some royalties and fine print after this recording. But
so I guess that's a good time as ever to get into fucking music. Has the edge gone dull? We're gonna find out. We played at the top of the show. We played a song from Reek Minds, newer band from Portland, doing that raw punk hardcore that we've been playing on the show lately. Fucking just like loud as shit. Vocals turned all the way up, like I say with those Static Shock vocals. It's the sound I want to hear if I'm touching an electric fence.
When you said Static Shock, I don't know why, but I immediately thought of that one show, Static Shock. Do you remember that at all? It was like the guy who like uses like lightning as his power. Do you remember that at all?
No, I don't.
Oh, dude, you should look it up. So sick. But
Static Shock.
Static Shock. That was his name.
Why do that sounds familiar? But I've been just like, I don't know. Static Shock, huh?
Static Shock. Yeah, look it up.
I might know what you're talking about. I'm having a bad memory these days. Oh shit. Okay, Static. Yeah, no, this motherfucker. I'm about this.
Okay, yeah, so you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, no, I'm looking at the cartoon. This is like a minute ago.
Static Shock, great show.
Anyways, so but yeah, Reek Minds. I because lots of people like to define certain types of like raw hardcore in stupid terms. Whether it's the 2017 Egg versus Chain, or did we talked about that on the show back then, right?
I think so.
I
Egg
think
versus Chain. Yeah.
Egg Punk versus Chain Punk.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this doesn't obviously go anywhere near this. This is just raw fucking fast hardcore. Punk, very short, with everything's kind of, all levels are kind of fucking maxed the fuck out to sound like it's supposed to fucking give you that static shock, or a Pikachu is giving it a thunder shock, and not a thunderbolt, a thunder shock.
Ooh, okay.
To be completely fair. So from there, from our rantings, we're gonna play another kind of fast ass. I'm assuming a joke band. I've been seeing people talk about this. One said one person called this the cannabis corpse of D-Beat.
Ooh, okay.
A band,
you know what? Good take. Good take.
Band called Disweed, with their Boofin demo. We're gonna play a song called Cop Skull Bong.
God, great name.
For all the straight edge people who want to try to crucify me for some bullshit or playing this, fuck off. I remember I talked to Rusty back like a couple months ago, and I like made fun of this show. Like we were talking about cooking shows, and there was this show, and just because it was funny, is it called Cooking on High on Netflix, which is just literally the point of the show is they literally put marijuana in the food,
Mm-hmm.
and it's marijuana infused food. They tell us they tell you how it tastes. Chefs come in, they have like comedians and stupid people come and eat it and tell you how it tastes and rate it, and they give the chef a golden bong or something. And I was just like, and Kelly watched it, and I was just like, yeah, I watched that. It was kind of funny. And fucking Rusty was like, I listened to Straight Ahead today. And I was like, great. Congratulations.
Congratulations for listening to that band.
Congratulations. You listened to straight edge music.
Oh my God. I don't know why, but have you seen that show Hot Ones on YouTube?
Yeah.
Dude, that's that's my favorite show right now.
They have it. They have like a TV version, right?
Yeah, you were telling me about that, right?
Yeah,
Or
I think so. I don't know.
Yeah.
Was it me? I see you
I don't know.
I see you like once a month right now, and today was a literally like, if I knew you were coming in, I would have done like heavy bands, and not like I would have done a heavy band show.
Oh, you don't have to do heavy bands, bro. We're chilling. You know that. See that's the coolest part about hardcore. Like, not to get like all corny, but like, honestly, like, you could take a fucking punk band, metal band, you know, at this point in age, a new metal band, and call it hardcore, and most of the time people won't question it. I say most of the time, like, you know, with fine underlines, but you know, like, I don't care. I like, you know, hardcore for, you know, what
hardcore,
it is.
hardcore for hardcore.
Exactly. You know.
And then today we're actually playing. I guess it's not. We're doing a crossover band that you had no idea existed.
Yeah, exactly.
From Tacoma, called Denial of Life. Definitely not as fine tuned as the crossover band you were in. Definitely a raw lo-fi sensibility to this band.
Well, you know what? They're about to be approved of life after I listen to them. I tell you what.
All right, we're gonna. So what we're gonna do is why do I keep hearing? What is going on?
Oh, sorry.
What are you messing with over there?
My ass.
Is that the fucking chair?
Yeah.
God damn it.
Sorry, you know, when it itches, you gotta hit the stitches, you know what I'm saying?
As much as I was like, I was like, I didn't want to fucking mess with the bed music, but you'll hear some bed music and some shit in just a minute. Cause we're going to play, this is going to be a talk heavy show today. So we're going to play some music from Disweed. And then we're gonna get straight into our interview with Denial of Life. You're listening to Dead Air, 2 hours of hardcore radio and other bullshit. We probably should have started on it.
You get the memo stories.
Yep.
We're not
The
really,
sick memo stories.
the memo stories will never be heard again by any ears here or there. But still, actually, I'm gonna say it one more time. Auburn Memos is the best. If we're gonna rank memos in the Pacific Northwest, we got
Washington State memos.
Washington State Memos. We got Auburn, U District, and Tacoma.
For sure.
Yeah.
Lakewood.
Yeah.
Actually, Lakewood
Lakewood
is,
might be better than Tacoma.
Lakewood
one.
is better than Tacoma, but there's been one time where they were open and I was just like, hey, can I have this? We don't have that. I'm like, what about this? We don't have that. What about
You
this?
caught them on a bad night.
And I was just like,
They're like, yeah,
that's your
no.
entire fucking menu. What are you talking about? I was like, I guess I'm just going to go fuck off now. And then I refuse to put Everett Memos on any list because they need to fucking burn in hell with all their fucking mosquitoes. Like,
I feel like I barely even see mosquitoes in Washington State, so I don't know where the fuck they're coming from in Everett.
Everett, it sounds like.
it depends. Where do you usually hang out in the summer?
Oh, I guess in the city. So
Okay, yeah, if I grew up in Bonnie Lake, so like
yeah, definitely out in that fucking
there have been
prairie
two
shit.
Yeah, mosquito.
there have been two 4th of
Repair
July
crew.
parties that we didn't go and like watch fireworks because the mosquitoes were
Just
so
so
bad.
bad.
So by the time the sunset, we literally closed the doors because there was no fucking point. It was it. I would get all the candles too, and it still wouldn't work.
Yeah, sometimes it's just those bad nights where it's just not.
I
not
was,
happening.
and I was so fucking stubborn because I was like, the second time I was like, I'm not letting the mosquitoes ruin my time. And like everyone left, and I was just sitting out there trying
Getting
to
bit.
enjoy. Yeah, getting bit, trying to enjoy. Anyways, so who are we here with? Who's our guests? You guys.
Well, we're Denial of Life. I'm Brenna.
And I am Logan. We're from Tacoma, Seattle area.
So
We claim Tacoma.
you claim
Yeah, T-Log for life.
I appreciate that as someone who has grown up in Tacoma. This is my home. I work in Seattle, but yeah, Tacoma has been my scene forever. If I'm ever in a band,
likewise.
I yell Tacoma hardcore because
Fuck
I'm
yeah.
fucking
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Tacoma hardcore for life.
Always.
Absolutely. Always.
For real though.
Red Room forever.
Oh, fuck.
Red Room.
Yes.
Sick.
For real though.
Yeah.
I remember watching my friend get knocked out at the Red Room.
Oh shit. Hopefully it wasn't me.
Classic.
Hopefully it wasn't me.
I have no one knew who it was. I just saw him just like, and he was out. It was sick.
I've done that by accident one or two times at the Red Room.
Knocked someone out.
Yeah, by accident for real. Been my close friends, but I can't help it. Don't play good mosh riffs. What was it? You guys? I hope you guys never saw. Some people saw this meme. There was a meme that back at the end of Red Room that said Tacoma hardcore will never die, but you will. You guys never
Sick.
saw
I
that?
never saw
No,
that
I
one.
never saw
Thank
that.
God. That's a good thing. So I said that at the last. Well, I played a set at one of the last Red Room shows because they were like, there's like a weekend where they did two
Send-offs.
Yeah, two send-off shows, and I played one, and then I said that, and then some kid that I've never met to this day made a fucking meme and took a picture, unbeknownst to me, and then
You got memed.
and then shared it
My
around.
worst nightmare.
And I was just like,
Really?
It came back like a year. It came back a year later too. Like
Yeah, after a lot of time passed.
a
After you
lot of
forgot
time
about
passed.
All of it.
It just came out of the woodwork. I saw it on somebody's random ass IG account, and I was like,
That's me.
what, who the fuck?
Fucking said that.
I said that.
Well, it was back. I talked about this.
That was
in
like the
another-
early meme days.
Yeah, no, that was not the. That was
I mean,
like when it
low
was
key
getting-
early. Like,
low-key
that
early.
was like
It was just
3
past.
years into
It was
or
just
whatever.
past the herp derps.
Oh god. Ew. Okay, but also like lolcats were the first meme, and those were like what 10 years before that.
Was
Or
it
something?
10 years?
Or something. I mean, that was when I was in elementary school.
Wait, lolcats is like. Oh shit! Is lolcats like MySpace age?
It's like older than that.
Real.
I think it's like
Tr-
vintage ass
trendsetters.
memes,
Yeah,
dude.
Fuck. Then I literally got introduced to lolcats way late
Damn.
because I remember like finding out about lolcats in college. so somebody showed me
Missed
like
that one.
somebody showed me like a 10-year-old fucking meme.
Like, this is crazy.
Oh, have you seen this one?
No,
I've
I
never seen
didn't.
this before.
I didn't think it was funny at all. Like, because that was just like at the same time, everyone's like, I like cat videos. I like Grumpy Cat. I'm like, fuck off. So I just thought it was like the same, like recycled bullshit. But like, yeah, I got memed and I got in a Tumblr GIF once upon a time, and I was not happy about
Yeah,
it.
I hope I never do.
I actually wouldn't mind it. I don't think.
Get memed.
Honestly, I like the attention.
I think
Okay, that's fair.
I met someone on a dating app, and they were like, weren't you on that
No,
GIF
that
on
meme.
Tumblr?
Oh shit.
It's
Like-
over from there.
Because there was a video of, so the band Expire played like years and years ago at a Burgerville in Portland, and yeah, no, it was a fucking wild ass show. It's like kind of like that Denny's show.
Yeah, the Wacko
Yeah.
show.
Like it was wild, and it was a one thing that would never happen again, because the second it went off, the people didn't know what the fuck was
They were
going on.
expecting. They're like, oh no.
And for some reason, it was a weird time in my life. I didn't dress my age. I dressed like I was like 50 years older than I was, because I also dressed because I worked in sales, so I always unintentionally went to shows in like button ups and like looked like I was just like an old man. Like, so people are like, are you the old man that was moshing in the Expire video?
And you're like, yes,
I was
I
like,
That was I.
but in a date situation, I was like, no.
oh, no.
No.
I don't know. What are you talking about?
So, Denial of Life, you guys are fucking low key. To be fair, like they, not that I'm saying like, I wish you were higher key, because you guys are fucking great. I like your band. You guys came out of fucking nowhere for as far as I'm concerned, for a crossover band from Tacoma.
Yeah. Well, we haven't been a band that long, really. The idea started maybe about a year ago, but with our current lineup, we've been jamming for like 6 months. Mm-hmm. So it still feels like a super new band.
Yeah, we're still like figuring out what our sound is and everything too, like along with that. So
yeah. And I just like my thing was like, I search avidly for music, especially for Tacoma. So I'm like when I see like that something has come out, even if it's been like 3 months, I'm like, how has 3 months gone by and nobody's told me about this fucking band?
That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
That's because I'm literally, I just spend my free time in this studio just like searching for fucking music for the show. So I'm like, if I'm like, I feel behind if I'm even like a week late. So
It's real.
So 6 months in my world is
a long time.
It's a long.
it's like dog years.
It's a very like long time. So I'm just like, especially it's just like when it's a band like Tacoma that's punk, hardcore, metal, or adjacent. I want to know about it, because from being from Tacoma, things when it gets quiet out here, it gets really quiet.
Yeah,
like,
it goes through
musically.
phases for sure.
Like, people are like, what the fuck is going down here? And like, I've had bands from Seattle come down here. Like, I haven't been to Tacoma in 3 to 4 years. So
That's sad.
Sad, yeah.
for real, like, because
thanks.
because all bands, like the ones that are like maybe in my age demographic or older, like some of them that have joined more of the adult punk bands, only come down to play like the Valley or something like that.
Yeah, like every blue moon.
and that's it. And other bands like mentioned the Plaid Pig, which is like
Yeah, a new spot.
a newer spot, but still not an all. I don't think that's not an all ages spot
I
either.
think it's just a bar.
Like, it's just a bar. Like, so nothing. That's nothing. It's pretty easy after a while to like. It's not hard to turn your bar into a spot for music. So but all ages spots, like, I'm fucking surprised Real Art has, like, shout to Tom for fucking making Real Art being able to be a thing for
Such a long time.
5 years.
I know, it's been a long time now.
For how like I only go maybe like to a show there once or twice a year at this point, but like that, the fact that that's happened, it's been the first like official show was 2015.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. I remember that.
Me too.
That's extremely wild. Like yeah, that's fucking dope. But Denial of Life, good tape, good music.
Thanks.
What was your crossover thrash band with some like hardcore and some punk influences? I'm by nature a fucking hardcore and punk kid, so brevity has always been my friend. Like,
Yeah, I hear you.
something, and you guys have that, like faster songs, good song lengths that don't drone on, and I appreciate that. So thank you for that, because it's really easy to have a metal influence and want to noodle and think of the next part and just keep fucking going. I can see like where it's easy for anybody who is like proficient with their music, but like as far as like if I'm writing music, I'm thinking what I want to hear, and I want to get all the fucking best parts of a song and
out there
in
then
about
be
less
over.
than 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's sick, because I think we definitely are aware of that and try when we are writing songs to not play a part super long time, and like even if we're like, oh, this part's tight, like yes, brevity is important. So I don't know what you think, Brenna, but
It's addicting to just let a sick ass riff ride for like a really long time, and I fucking love it so much when that happens. You know, like when you can find a really like driving riff that's like really fucking exciting, and like it just feels like something's gonna happen. You're just
Yeah,
like,
for
you know
sure.
what I mean? Like ready for anything because of this riff. And so yeah, it's hard to
find that line.
yeah, exactly. Like I want people to just like I want them to vibe to the riff, you know what I mean? And appreciate it, even if it's long.
Yeah, and I think our drummer comes from like a very heavy hardcore background, so I think he is helpful in being like, all right, that's it. Like,
Yeah, we need to shut the fuck
we need
up.
to we need to keep it under 3 minutes, you know.
Yeah.
So I think we have some good like crossover influences that make that be, you know, something that we're thinking about.
I think the main thing that makes this crossover for me is, like I said, the song length. But there are plenty of crossover bands that will cross that threshold time and time again. That do like 5 to 6 minute songs, but still label themselves as crossover. But
Yeah.
I love like I said, song lengths. The production of I love this style of any type of heavy like music and hardcore having a more lo-fi quality to it. If I'm listening to something that's more like fucking beatdown,
Yeah.
I want to hear something that sounds like it's fucking recorded in a trash can.
Yeah, I was
because
gonna say, it's some garbage
because that
can
music
sound.
is for fucking moshing mongoloids.
Yep.
It is for the Cro-Magnums of the world.
Definitely.
It is like we all have to have a mix of like people want to hear something like, you know, nice, technical, proficient, and then for any type of music, and then sometimes you just want to put something just ridiculous on, and that's what I like. But that's not what this is. This is crossover with some really like, you know, lo-fi kind of punk production, which is like, I think it stands out because not a lot of crossover. You know, anybody in metal usually wants some more like you know, sometimes better,
Production,
clearer
yeah.
production, and I think it speaks to kind of like the, you know, older stuff that that I have revisited and be like, I like that production, like more of like the Hellhammer and Celtic Frost
absolutely.
type stuff.
Those are big influences, I think, especially in terms of production and like just that like 80s like style of production and stuff. So yeah, both of those bands are like definitely like pinnacle sick 80s bands.
I mean, fucking, it's punk, and it's literally punk, the apex of punk and metal in one. So what's not to like?
I couldn't agree
True.
more.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool shit. Like I need to check out a fucking show. You guys have been playing some pretty like rando spots around Seattle, right?
Yeah, I would say so. I think we're playing a lot of like punk houses and stuff. At least, you know, as we've like started to play a lot of shows. I think we're like have an affinity towards like playing in punk houses and stuff.
Fuck yeah, definitely. I mean, I'd rather play in a basement, honestly, than a normal venue. But you know, it's just the vibe. You feel so much more comfortable, and I feel so much happier. So
yeah, so I think we're like finding that balance where we'll like play some good punk houses and then play a good venue. I think the tour that we're about to go on is like a nice mix of like good venues and DIY spots.
Oh hell yeah! You guys are going on tour. I literally almost forgot that. That's fucking
yeah, it's
dope.
coming right up,
and that's why I initially wanted to get you guys
for
in
sure.
because you're going on your first fucking tour after 6 months, and like you guys are fucking go getters.
yeah,
Yeah,
doing it.
That's tight. That's definitely what we were trying to do. Like at least Brenna and I, when we were starting this band, we were just like, let's be as as active as possible in terms of touring and traveling. So just to get our first tour like booked and done and like in half a year or so I think is sick.
Yeah, and I feel like that probably speaks to your collective experience as well, because Brenna came in and you were like, I've fucking played here before.
Yeah.
So like when you have that collective experience, it's always like makes it fucking easier to be like, all right, we got these songs, I know these people, let's play these places.
And also establishing those connections like throughout, especially since we're going on the West Coast, establishing connections with everyone throughout the West Coast is really important, especially, if we want to tour again.
Yeah. Like, I always like, if I'm ever like with friends, I always keep that in mind and hang out with like if I'm ever decide I want to fucking pick up an instrument again and play, I'm like, I better be nice to this person or like or be friends with these, because like you want to have good,
connections.
And it's not because I don't want to hate. I'm just like antisocial sometimes by nature. So I'm like, oh fuck, like, but I'm like, I should be like, try to be like, make these connections because I want to play with these people and hang out with these people.
And it's wild, like how long or how far those connections can get you, even if it's like you play one show with a band, and then you talk to them a year later when you're trying to go through their city or something, and then like set up cool shows, So yeah, I don't know. I think like the West Coast has this is very much connected, like the Bay Area. It'll be great to be in the Bay,
In LA,
yeah, and just kind of like
stoked
keep
about
that
that.
West Coast.
Where are you playing in the Bay Area?
We're playing at. We're actually figuring that out. It's funny. It's funny that you asked that one because
specific place.
because that venue had just fallen through.
Whoops.
So we got it.
Unintentional.
Calling us out.
Yeah, for real.
But it's funny. Like we were talking about it last night. We played a show last night, and it's like DIY touring is like it's awesome, and it's also tough because like you're hitting up people that you don't really know super well, and like asking them to like
Do you a fucking solid?
do you a huge solid,
even though
and
they
like
don't know you at all.
yeah, really like go up to bat for you based on like like little to no human to human contact.
Yeah, no, for
Yeah.
real.
Yeah, I've definitely been just talking to people that I've never met in my entire fucking life.
And you just
And that's what it is, and that's like DIY touring is like it's hard, but it's also really sick that
Yeah, it's
you
really
can
super worth it.
create something like that just on like a few little conversations and stuff.
and like I said, I am antisocial by nature, but it is by talking to people online and being able to like do this, like this is the capacity of where I like stand with communication. Like I'll be able to feel I guess more empowered to talk to you guys or have interviews and talk, and like I'm okay with talking with people I've never hung out with before when it comes to this style of music, and when
Definitely.
it comes to doing stuff for the show, booking tours and shows and etc. Like other things, when you get me out in the real world, I'm just like, but there's just like some energy because it's also like, it's something you want to fucking do. Like, you guys want to go on tour. So it's like, and I want to do this show. So it's just like, so like, there is like, you know, that push to go be like, all right, yeah, I really want to do this. So I'm going to talk to this person.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, when it all boils down to, it's like, you know, all people caring about a similar thing about playing music and band related stuff. So it's like, it is simple, but then it's also not simple at all.
Yeah, it's true. Well, and also there's like, you got to think some of the people are not like, sometimes the people that you hit up in a year might not be around, or like they might be like doing something completely different. Like I've seen that happen. Like because booking can for bookers, it can be an extremely thankless job. So like I can see where some people in some contexts get like stressed out and move on to the next thing they want to do in their life.
Yeah, definitely.
Like,
I mean,
I'm over this.
I've definitely known a few people who need to take like years for a hiatus on booking, you know, especially like from bands that they don't know at all.
It's like one of the most stressful parts of what we do.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
with
without a doubt.
as far as this like this DIY, this punk hardcore thing, like it is like, yeah, going on tour and figuring it out, but like also like just trying to like talk to other people to find a place to book shows and having to keep everyone happy and getting all those like being the sole purpose and the sole glue that holds a show together can be really fucking nerve-wracking.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Especially if the show just sucks or something,
Oh,
you know?
yeah, like,
that's like all on you and you're
Yeah, for
fucked.
sure.
You're
Yeah.
like,
Well,
oh, I'm sorry.
You know, I tried.
But there also are those people that don't fucking try, and they're like, I'm gonna be honest, dude, I've been really busy, so I'm not.
Yeah, and you're like, the show's in a week, man.
No, I've had that where it's just like I think we played in a rec center to like, it was just it was just bands. Nobody paid. No, there's 3 or 4 people, and we're just like, you know what? Just don't even pay. Just come on in. Just come on in. And we just like, we all just shared equipment and had a fucking party in the room and just threw, and like we're throwing beach balls around and shit.
Yeah,
because
sick.
they're like,
Take it in stride.
because they're just like, fuck it. Like
Might as well.
depends on what tours, but there's always like, in a tour, there's always one of those shows that either it's like not that great, or it's just like it wasn't what you were expecting. So it just depends. Sometimes it's all fucking good from beginning to end.
Yeah, that's the goal.
That's the fucking goal. That's what you want,
That's-
but expectations and fucking reality,
Yeah, can sometimes be very different.
for real. So I'm getting some of this fucking music on, because I don't know. I came onto the, I had all your music queued up, and then I was like, fuck, and now it's all like disappeared. So we got a lot of like influences and some like fucking newer songs, and playing some in the background. Shout out to fucking, you know, Black Sabbath for 50 years.
I know. I was just about to say, Brenda, I loved your list. I was like, yes, dude. Hell
Dude,
yeah.
I was listening to NIB last night with my roommates, and I was just so like, I don't forget necessarily, but like, I feel like I fucking forget how good this specific song is. And every time I listen to it, I'm just like, oh God, like it makes me want to just fucking like, I don't even know, like fucking explode, because it is so good.
Also, since I'm somewhat new, like I've been doing the radio, we talked about it off. I'm somewhat new to the podcasting thing, so I don't know what the rules are on this, but I'm gonna just fucking do it about blasting other fucking podcasts.
Get a letter in the mail.
There's another fucking podcast out there that's pretty high up there in music, like that's basically sole purpose is to talk shit on bands.
Okay.
And
okay.
And they did
That
one.
sucks.
Yeah, no, I'm not even gonna If you go through the music charts, you'll find it. But these dudes are fucking. I don't know. They're just. I feel like they're always like pushing up their glasses. They have all a collective fucking music nerds pushing up their glasses, trying to fucking mansplain why music is fucking why they think
it's stupid.
Why they think it's fucking stupid. And
that is the lamest shit I've ever heard in my fucking life.
They did one on Black Sabbath.
Oh hell
and it
no!
fucking pissed me off.
Jesus
I'm just like,
Christ.
Here's the thing. There was a point. The point was to be fucking raw, fucking rock and roll with blues influence, but still like a lot more raw than what other fucking bands were doing. So fuck off. Like
that's super funny.
Seriously,
and
fuck off. Black Sabbath rocks.
Like they talk so much shit on bands, and they always like, oh, this is perfect. They were like, oh well, High on Fire is way better.
Then
what?
I was
okay,
like, fuck
all right.
Just
off.
dumb thing to say.
Like High on Fire is really good, but okay, even Matt fucking knows from High on Fire. He fucking knows that Sabbath is way better than High on Fire. I'm sorry.
I'm just like.
Also, what? Okay, whatever. That's so
Yeah,
fucking.
I can
that
give
makes
you
me
the
mad.
I could give you the link to this bullshit after the show.
Yeah, you fucking should.
But it's like.
Actually, I don't know. I don't want to listen.
Some of it's like real obvious shit. Like they talk shit on like Metallica and their inconsistent career, which is like that's
Okay.
obvious low hanging fruit, man.
Yeah, for
like
real.
it's like if you listen to music, you know like what has happened, and it's like it is laughable, and I'm like that's the fucking point. Like who cares anymore? Like. I hope that they're not making any fucking money from that, because I'm not subscribing that fucking Patreon.
Oh yeah,
Fuck
hell
you.
no.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
That's a pass.
God.
I don't need any of that. I think there needs to be more podcasts trashing those style of podcasts because I feel like they're not getting a reality. Fuck it. Fuck them. Black Sabbath
For real,
rules.
fuck 'em. Do they make music? Like,
I have no fucking clue.
I wonder what their bands are, because I would love to tear their asses apart.
A couple of the bands that they've mentioned are really not that fucking good. Like they're okay,
Yeah.
but like they want to push their glasses up and make them sound like they're the like they're the best bands ever, and like they always talk about like the next band. Like they talked shit on Slayer, and then mentioned how Converge was like fucking influenced by Slayer, but like Converge is way better. I'm just like, that's not the fucking same thing at all. Not even close. Like it's like saying any band like heavier band is influenced by Slayer is just a redundant like thing. Like so. Like Converge is so much fucking different now, and just fuck off. Fuck
Yeah,
off.
I agree with that.
Like I'm just like it does, and also a lot of these bands that they're criticizing are bands that like started with like not many reference points. They created a lot of their shit from nothing.
Yeah.
And with the very few things that they had around, and the very few bands that were doing anything somewhat similar. So to really get on someone's ass because they're somewhat popular and revered, fuck
Lame.
off. Fuck
Yeah.
off.
Some people shouldn't have a hot mic in front of them.
Amen to that.
No,
But
no hot takes for you.
yeah, no
Yeah,
hot takes.
seriously.
So yeah, you guys just like fucking rock music. You guys like to rock out.
Rockers.
You guys are,
You know?
you guys are honestly
80s
just
rockers.
You
Born
guys
and
are
bred.
honestly just rockers, straight up. Especially like with the metal, like the riffs that you have are like just even regular like fucking rockers would like fucking epic fucking solos in their metal.
Yeah.
So the punk kid, the hardcore kid is trying to track with the metal.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny influences. Yeah, the song.
No, it's and that's cool because like you never fucking know what you're like, what the bands you like were actually like influenced to make their own fucking unique ass style. Like,
yeah, for sure. And I think if our drummer Nicky was here, all of his songs would be like, well, I don't know, I shouldn't say that, but but he's like very much from the hardcore community, like this, like a very like straight up hardcore community, I think. So I think he adds a lot, like some different like a different perspective almost when we're like writing songs and
Yeah,
stuff.
I'd definitely say that neither you or I are very like, I mean, I love hardcore Madball for life, you know, but like I've definitely not delved into it as deep as Nicky has. That is for fucking sure, you know. So
Yeah, I think I would
definitely
agree
brings
in terms
that.
of like years spent in the community, like the hardcore community and stuff. Like I come from more of like a punk background, I guess.
I can you know, and obviously I already kind of had that suspicion and see like listening to the music that there's a lot of fucking metal, but there's also like definitely an acknowledgement and a sensibility that is by nature punk and hardcore with the fucking, like I said, the style of songs that you have, like the song lengths, the production, like even if you're doing it without knowing, I think the collective influence like makes a very like good and standout style of crossover.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
sick. Yeah, that's awesome.
There's a like with it like with this we have. There's definitely some fucking like you guys like the epic shit.
Yeah, it's
Big
funny that
time.
you use the word epic, but I know what you mean. Like
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean.
But that's a self-described thing. That's me being outside of the. This is me. I am a crust outsider.
Yeah, I know.
Like, as far as a metal outsider, I'm a metal and I'm a crust outsider. I like a lot of. I would not consider myself someone who is immersed into metal and crust and whatnot, but I acknowledge and know, and I try to educate myself as much as possible.
would you? Oh, sorry.
Go for it.
I was gonna say, would you consider Rush an epic band?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was just gonna say it makes sense like that you use that because I swear to God, I always feel like I'm writing a Rush song every single time I
'Cause
write a song.
I guess epic crust kind of see, and I would have to talk to somebody who like who's like more of a crust head. I don't like to say that because that sounds fucking stupid. Crust head. What they would describe as epic crust and stadium crust.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I think like to me, why I feel you on the epic thing, especially with Sacrilege, is like I think a lot of their like imagery and like aesthetic is like it's funny that you use like the D&D type of thing because like I think that their like imagery and aesthetic is kind of like I don't know, like otherworldly like isn't the best word for it, but it's kind of like
It's definitely fitting though. Yeah.
yeah, like in that like D&D-ish
Like fantastical
realm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
Magical.
point. Magical kind of almost.
Yeah, it could be otherworldly, as in like a realm similar to ours, but maybe another fucking dimension where
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
actually
sick, definitely.
we're delved into a world of gargoyles and fucking dungeon beasts.
Yeah, definitely.
Hell yeah.
I think that's like super on point for Sacrilege, and especially their art. Like their art, super like I don't know the best word to describe it, but like on some gargoyle-y type of shit.
I'm trying to think, rack my brain because I just no, that's cool. I feel like my problem is I try to separate myself from that world only because I know of how addicted I would be to some stuff like D&D, and I would probably this show would be canceled.
Because you'd be gaming.
Like, not like canceled in the sense of people would cancel me, but I would just cancel it itself.
Yeah, you're like, I got other things to do.
I would literally just not show up again. That's the same with like any like RPGs and stuff like that. I'm like, you can't do that to me because I have to. My mind will stay on task.
Yeah.
And I will want to just live and die in that world. Like,
And you will.
I know exactly, and you will.
and that's okay. Honestly, if that's really where it's got
Where it's going, then
it's going, then I'm all.
I mean,
then I'm all
honestly,
in.
I'd rather be there than here right now. So, not
Yeah.
like specifically this
specifically
place,
in this
but
studio.
I meant,
Here,
you
right
know,
in this fucking
you
studio.
know what I meant, though.
No, I know. I've been trying to not be super nihilistic these days, but it's so
It's
fucking,
fucking difficult.
it's so
honestly.
fucking hard.
You literally cannot avoid being nihilistic at this point because we've been failed so many goddamn times that it's like, oh, I don't know. It's just it's probably gonna fucking happen again. There's no fucking point. Like, it
Dude,
sucks.
so
But I try not to think that way. I really don't the majority of the time. But still, fuck.
yeah, so what was I so like that was I said something to somebody who's pretty fucking nihilistic, and I accidentally, I think I got a slight bit concussed at a show the other night.
Cool.
And I wasn't paying attention. I picked up my jacket and got rammed into the Vera Project sound booth, and I hit my head on one of the stools there.
Oh fuck.
That will happen.
And what was I getting at? And I think I was tired. I was like, you know what? I just don't fucking care right now. I'm just gonna go home, get a burrito, and if I don't fucking wake up, it was nice fucking knowing you.
That's sick. I know exactly what you mean. You're like,
Like,
this is the last sleep.
And I was just like, at least I'm getting a fucking Memo's burrito.
Yeah,
Hell
before
yeah.
I got that
The last
burrito.
meal.
I'm glad it wasn't because that burrito left a little bit to be desired. I could have used some jalapeno.
Which memos did you get it from?
The Auburn one.
Oh, okay.
It was really good, but like they overdid it a little. I try not to get tomatoes or like or anything that's like lettucey because it makes the burrito super watery, and I'm not down with the watery
burritos.
So I try to do like, what I do is I'll add the potatoes or like the fries and put some jalapenos in there, and it makes a pretty decent burrito. But sometimes I would just rather have the consistency of the taco because like it's too
and
much.
their tacos are so big too. I love it so much.
It's too much. So I usually I'll do it a vegan taco with with the rice and the beans, and then I'm like, that's usually good.
That's a good.
So I'm
good
glad.
route.
I'm glad at this point. I'm happy to say that I'm somewhat happy
That you woke up.
I woke up the next fucking day.
And you're like, okay.
I was like,
all right,
we'll
damn
do
it.
this again next time someone knocks into a sound booth. Make sure to get the right fucking burrito.
Yeah, and it's a wrap.
And then it's literally a fucking wrap.
Yeah.
It could be, could be not. Roll the fucking dice. Toss the coin. I'm cool with whatever
It lands on.
whatever it
it's all
fucking
good.
lands on. But like a deep burrito sleep is better than I deserve.
Yeah. Better than a lot of us deserve. Yeah. Hey, I respect
So
that.
I will take it willingly.
Amen, brother.
That or like sometimes when I see like the fake tabloids of the fucking asteroid like that's going to demolish the planet, I'm like, please, thank God, do it. Like I grin from ear to fucking ear.
Oh my god, there's this fucking meme that I saw that was like, everyone's freaking out about coronavirus, and like, oh shit, what the hell?
I think I
was
know
it?
what you're talking about.
It
Where
was
it's like millennials are always like, I just want to die. Yeah, like just fucking end it already.
Oh
And
yeah,
then
and then it's like coronavirus
and everyone's-
says, "Why are you running?"
I saw that too. I was like, oh, that's hella funny. Everyone's like, I
Because
just fucking
honestly,
just
that's
fucking
not
end it
how
already.
because that's not how I want to fucking even if we were like, because I don't think any of us are nearing 70 yet in this room. So
We got a little while for
from
that.
from what I'm gathering, so coronavirus ain't gonna do shit to us just yet. So I don't know. But if it was, that's not how I want to fucking go.
Me neither.
Me
That's
neither.
That'd be fucking lame.
I'll be bummed.
I was like, this
fuck,
fucking
man.
sucks. And if I eat a burrito with coronavirus, I'm probably gonna throw it up with the rest of my fucking small intestines. So no.
Yeah, no thanks.
Not this ain't happening,
We'll get back from tour and then we'll see.
dude. Yeah, we'll see.
Seriously.
The fact I woke up like on my first day off after like I said another thing I repeated from the last episode. After a couple weeks, of working straight, I woke up to my first day off to people in hysteria over fucking coronavirus, and I'm just like, all right, I'm ready to go back to work.
All right, vacation.
I was like, my weekend is officially done.
It's been killed.
Like it's been literally fucking canceled. So,
that's funny.
Would you say Denial of Life is a nihilistic band?
Oh,
Right off the bat, I don't know, Brenda, go for it.
I mean, no. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say the hell yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Escalation.
100%.
Yeah.
I love that fucking name. That song name is great. Escalation to Hell.
Oh
yeah,
my
that was all Brenda.
That's a-
Brenda writes
funny.
the sickest lyrics, hands down.
I love that. That's
Thank
a
you.
good fucking song name.
Yeah, definitely. I would definitely say all of our lyrics are extremely nihilistic and a lot of hopelessness, misery.
All right.
Yeah,
Breathe it in.
Shame.
I gotta,
Breathe it in.
I gotta get it out of me somehow. You know.
Yeah, I think those are like when Brenda and I were first talking, like before we had other members and stuff. I think we're like trying to explore those like themes and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. We were definitely going for like I was at least going for like a very Lord of the Rings vibe when we first started writing music together. When we wrote The Collector, especially, that was the first song we ever wrote.
Yeah.
And that was like, I was definitely trying to go for like weird, like mystical, but really fucking horrifying themes in that. And then like
Definitely.
ever since, like in the past 6 months, especially like since we got Russo and Nikki, I feel like my lyrics have changed quite a bit, and in the way of like actually just writing about like philosophical shit and actually having like metaphors and all that stuff. And yeah, so I'm still talking about mystical stuff, but definitely not as much.
So nihilism. It started out with we all deserve to die. Now you're explaining why we all deserve to die.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's good.
You got it.
I think it's been sick, like kind of trying, like feeling like we're kind of getting into a groove as far as like songwriting and knowing what kinds of like sound, like songs we want, like structures and stuff, and like themes and songwriting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff and stuff.
Lots
yeah.
of stuff.
Yeah, in these past few weeks, at least personally, I've been like, yep, it's kind of like, getting into a good groove.
Mm-hmm.
And we're playing some Repulsion right now in the background,
Hell
and
yes,
I'm like,
Repulsion.
and I'm like, yeah, that's like, I can see where that fucking fits in like perfectly, like
Yeah.
like with the fucking grind and the like the brevity, like the shortness in those fucking songs, but they're all just fucking like fucking brutal.
So yeah, so
hate-
evil and just punishing and
Yeah.
Don't let me say brutal again because that makes me go into some fucking deathcore shit.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, yes, let's
Christ.
not. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're not going there.
We're not
But-
going back to 2005 ever
No,
again.
thank you. Yeah, Repulsion is like one of my favorite bands of all time, and especially in like with that record, like the production, that's just like the sickest sounding record to me personally, and like all the like the guitar solos and stuff are all stuff I'm just like, I just want to sound just like that.
Yeah, why? If you're like a fucking metal influenced, why wouldn't you?
Why? Well, yeah, for
real.
sure.
Like,
Yeah,
I don't see any reason why you would want to do anything else.
I completely agree. Yeah, it's such a sick band.
And this is from the hardcore outsider that appreciates and listens to these bands, but I definitely don't have the same deep seated knowledge of those who are in it, like 100%,
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
like for real.
Yeah, it's sick to have that outside perspective sometimes.
Oh yeah, that's cool. But it's also like, metal, hardcore. It's all punk has all in one way or another shared the same spaces, the same headspace as well. Sometimes
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I would agree.
For real.
Big time.
in approach and in just in kind of everything. So yeah.
Yeah, I agreed.
So what else do we want to say about your band? We've been fucking John on for about an hour.
Sick.
Almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously,
Time
been like-
flies.
it's the
Just talking.
time flies when you just talk. So play a couple more of your songs while we're talking, and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah,
So go on about the fucking tour a little bit. But so I think we didn't really go into it. So just like tell people to go see you on tour and shit.
Yeah, Brendan, go for it.
Oh, well, we're touring with this band called Tile from Bellingham. Our friend Nate, who was the drummer of the band, just recently broke his tibia. He got
Super
his
fucked up.
fucking shit rocked.
Yeah, 2 surgeries. He's about to
yeah.
go into surgery tomorrow.
Yeah, it's really fucked. So he can't go on tour with us anymore. So they did get a new drummer, and we are still going on tour together. So it's going to be the Denial of Tile Spring Break Coronavirus Tour 2020, going all the way down to Fresno. Is that the most southern part that we go to? Fresno?
LA, it's like a good 2-week, pretty standard West Coast tour. We'll play Sacramento, San Jose, Bay Area, down to LA. We go to Fresno, Reno, Las Vegas. Or I guess no.
We don't go to Vegas. I want to go to Vegas, but
Next
You know,
next one.
yeah.
But we've got some good shows lined up. I'm super hyped to play with this band called Aseptic from
oh, it's
San Jose,
right? Yeah.
Yeah, my other band played a show with them, and they're just extremely sick band, and like a thrash band is what I would say. They might say differently, but we play with him for a couple shows, and then I think we've got some like pretty diverse bills like that kind of encapsulate a lot of the styles we've been talking about. Like we got our punk shows, we've got some more like metal thrash shows. So I think it'll be like a good mix of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I want to see y'all on a motherfucking hardcore show sometime because that'd be cool.
Definitely.
I think
Yeah.
you guys do get on a
Absolutely.
hardcore show because why I have you on the show, I feel like there's only maybe a handful of people in the hardcore world that know you guys exist.
Yeah.
And I have
Definitely.
and my even my friend who's like big in crossover was like, I had no idea that there was another crossover band from Tacoma.
Yeah.
How did this happen? That's why
we
I'm,
slipped under the water.
Right, which is sick. That's
We're
like that makes me
sneaky.
stoked. Yeah.
you're very fucking sneaky. I'm just like don't do that. Don't do that again.
That's
It's
funny.
okay to be low key and mysterious. Like that's kind of the nature of some certain sections of DIY music. Like the whole thing is the mystery behind bands and not knowing who who the fuck is in the band or what the fuck is going
Yeah.
on
I
in the
swear
band.
to God, when I find out about a new band, I'm like, who is in this band?
There's like, the notion of like mysterious guy hardcore, which is like my least. It's up there with there's a few different genres and identifiers that I'm not a fan of. Mysterious guy hardcore kind of goes under the banner of bands like Gag and Glue and stuff of that ilk. And I think some may use Hoax is one of those, but I don't agree with that.
I remember that band.
So people remember that band. So I heard someone say that. I was like, I don't think that's correct. So I'm just like, I think these genres that come up out of random obscurity piss me off with the egg punk and chain punks
Jesus.
and the in the early to mid 2000s amazing core was an identifier for like Have Heart and some melodic style hardcore bands. I fucking hate that name. So,
Have Heart? Is that what you said?
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Me
So
too.
bands used to like apparently somewhere in some section of the world they heard these bands, and because they had like a little bit I guess more than just the regular youth crew style bands, somebody called them amazing core, and I'm just like, fuck that, don't
It's like, what is that? What?
shut the fuck up.
That's kind of cringy.
Yeah,
That's pretty cringy. I'm glad that I've never heard of that
Yeah,
before.
me too.
good. I'm glad you guys didn't hear of it either, and I'm sure somebody who's more versed in it will bring it up to me on some future show. But since you guys are not, it's awesome, and we will continue on. Will continue on
Sick.
with the rest of our senseless ramblings of nihilism and burritos and crossover thrash
Gargoyles.
and gargoyles.
Yes.
Those are all perfect points, and I think that's a good point. That's a good I think that's a good ending note to. We'll play some actual music from you guys.
Cool.
And what do we want to fucking play from you guys before we get to? I got the whole.
That's a good question.
That's a good question. I got 4 songs.
You want me to choose?
Do your thing.
What's the second one? What's that one?
One limb.
Oh, One Limb is a good
I
one.
got the digital, and I got this dope ass tape.
Oh, shit.
I'm doing an unboxing of the tape. I want to know.
Unwrapping.
You gotta do some ASMR like up against the mic.
Yeah.
Ooh, ASMR. Ooh, this is gonna get me so many likes and subscribes.
Hear that.
Oh my
my
god.
gosh.
I honestly do like this sound.
This sounds like subscribe to my channel.
Oh my god.
Okay, blue. I got the blue. Ooh, that's a nice blue.
Sick. You got the blue.
Oh shit.
I try to give you 2 colors.
Ooh, I'm gonna do the other one.
Ooh.
I don't. My girlfriend's kid loves unboxing videos, and I'm just like, I still haven't got a handle of what the appropriate reactions are. I know it's like most of it is over the top, like why are you this excited? Okay, I got a second blue.
Oh, 2 blues.
2 blues. I'm not hating.
Damn.
I'm not mad at 2 blues. Like,
You can't be mad
it's
at
a
it.
pretty like hypnozing blue too.
Yeah,
Like
it
you
is
got
really pretty.
you guys got a good thing going with like your color scheme, specifically like for some of your like merch. I'm like look at
Cool.
I was like it's like kind of like you guys have it on point. Even some of my favorite bands sometimes have some like ass merch.
Sick. Shout out to y'all.
So shout outs to y'all for
having ass
having
merch.
good. Well, you guys don't. You guys have good.
We have the sick ass merch.
sick
not the
ass. You
merch.
got good.
Sick ass merch.
I like the colors.
Cool.
Oh, you got some good. You got some hand. Are these some hand numberings up in here? No, that's not. Okay, we're done with the unboxing. we are officially finished with that. Have you figured out what songs we're playing?
Well, I wasn't even thinking about it the whole
God
time.
damn it! I'm gonna take a sip of my water while you guys think about this.
I like One Limb. That's one we play first on our live sets. But Brenna, I'll let you make the executive decision.
Shut up. Yeah, One Limb is great, honestly. That is actually the song that people tell me is their favorite the majority of the time. So,
all right, we're going to play that in Escalation to Hell because I love it.
Yeah, sick. And shout out to Seth Johnson. He recorded us
hell yeah.
in Hush Studios, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Super Tacoma. That's like...
You guys actually recorded in Hush.
Yes.
And we practiced.
Actually, that tracks. I've recorded in Hush before.
Yeah.
I've practiced.
It felt fitting. It felt very fitting
Extremely.
as a Tacoma band.
Hush is so wild. Like
Hush is so wild. Every time I'm in there, I'm
never
like,
know
what is happening?
every
here?
you never know who you're going to be playing next to.
Yeah, you're like,
If you're in the record, if you're like playing like you like I heard what was the Ancestors of God, and I was like they played next to me to my band space for months, and I was like, who is this fucking band with the fucking Machine Head riffs? And I was like, and I was like, I saw the dude from Crooks to Kings with the bandana. I was like, it's them. It's that guy. That guy's playing Machine Head riffs like 100%
every Thursday night.
Every Thursday night. That's you right there, fucking Machine Head riff guy. Like,
funny. Shout out to Hush
shout
Studios.
Out. Oh yeah, I haven't played there in a minute, but like, I assume it's
same as it.
It's kept.
Yeah, same as it.
Seriously.
It is Talking Heads, same as it ever was.
For sure.
Exactly.
All right, so any last words?
Thanks for having us on. That's
God
it.
Yeah,
damn it.
thank you. Seriously.
It's all good. Like that's fine. That's all good and dandy. I'm okay. Yeah, we'll play some fucking music and we'll get back to the rest of the show. You're listening to Dead Air, 2 hours of hardcore radio, and let's do it.
Walking, I'll tell you when. Stop fucking talking.
What's up, motherfuckers? This is Deadair telling you to check out the brand new Deadair website now. Go to deadair85.com for all podcasted shows as well as news, reviews, and content you can't get anywhere else. Go now or feel the wrath of my cold, hard robotic legs been kicking you straight in the face.
we're back. You're listening to Dead Air, 2 hours of hardcore radio. Wait, did you just laugh?
What?
Did you just laugh or choke or did you cough?
I don't know. Maybe I just existed. Is that a problem, Trevor?
I don't know. Existence is the first step to coronavirus.
Oh my god, I was just reading an article about coronavirus.
Dude, I'm going to hopefully once this is over, we will not talk about it anymore. I've talked about it with the guests. Unfortunately, the last couple guests, I think a future guest will be we'll have like we'll be talking about it, but we'll try to keep the corona talk to a fucking minimum because we goddamn straight edge.
I think the favorite thing about the coronavirus that I've heard was at work, all the like beer people, they've been talking, like the people who put out like Corona, that beer, they're like, man, our sales have just tanked because of this damn virus. And it's just the funniest thing to me because of the coronavirus, like having that, Corona in the first part of it.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely been real weird in that respect. Like I've been like, what the actual fuck? What is that? Okay, sorry, I was looking at my phone. I need to stop fucking doing that I'm like, so it's also like affecting my work because like working in event industry, like like I just literally got a raise and a promotion and stuff has like been bubbling up, and then the next day this happens. Like I had a month full of like just work, and now I'm back to like checking my fucking phone for my jobs, for my work schedule, like it's like I'm waiting for a girl to text me back.
Does she leave you on red?
It's like
ghost you?
That's basically like I work with like 100 other people, and it's like we're all like left on red, being like, "What the fuck?" Or hopefully,
you're like, "Am I gonna make some money or what's going on?"
Yeah, that's basically that's like, well, what it is like. I mean, does she like me?
You remember that one time we worked for the same company
for 2 weeks? You haven't been on, I think, since. Have you been on since that?
Like worked over there?
No, have you been on this show since?
Oh, been on the show? Yeah.
Since I worked over there?
Yeah, I've been on, I think. Yeah, no, I've definitely been on.
Oh, okay. I forget. But yeah, the show so yeah, I think if you haven't listened, I worked with Chris for like 2 weeks, and that was I guess a thing.
It was, yeah, pretty much. So like we worked for the same company, but we didn't actually like work with each other technically. It was more like Trevor got dropped off in this like the town that he lives in, right? And while with my gig, I'm kind of all over the place. Trevor kind of sticks in his kind of quadrant, right? And during that time, you got to meet some intense people, and
but I did not have the time for that. Like I did not have the capacity for the people that I was working with, and everybody else. Like it, like you have one of those things. Like, is it in my head? Is this person really just like treating me like this, or am I just being like too soft? Mm-hmm. And I was just there. Everyone's like, yeah, no, this person kind of sucks. Mm-hmm. So I was just like, I don't have time. Life is too short to have a job like this, especially at my age when I want to like build something. And this is like jobs like this that like you have to put all your energy into, and it's not your like career. You don't. It's like that sucks.
I mean, like, is this the end goal? Like, of hell no, dude. I think back to when like Campy was like, if you're really like sticking at this, you could, really like make it in radio. I think about times like that where it's just like, why am I doing this? But then I remembered, money, I guess. So to everyone out there, your boy X Chris X has a resume.
Yeah.
Hey, and
he's sold out of the radio game where, I'm still here, still sincere.
You're still
still broke as fuck.
the radio edge has not gone dull for Trevor.
No, it really has not. I still like I work a ton, so I'm still like making that money, but I still like literally do this every week, and sometimes I don't know how I have managed, but sometimes this show has definitely been a quantity over quality show. I don't want to. So there's been shows where I don't want to listen back ever fucking again.
Oh, dude. So like at your work, are you now past the point of 20-hour guy, or are you still like there, kind of just maintaining that?
Nobody talks to me, calls me 20-hour guy anymore. That was a different time in my life. So to put context, I worked a 21 plus hour shift at a festival because everybody ate a bad chicken burrito and my vegan edge did not go dull. So I was one of the only people that was well. So I pulled a bunch of shifts, and there was I worked with a sister company on this event. There are 2 security companies, and the people from the other security company was supposed to come and relieve me. They did not. And I got upset, and I was like, I want to talk to someone because I've been up for almost a full ass day and been working for almost a full ass day, and I'm ready to go home. And because I was like, I'm done with this place. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I can't get any cell service. I can't contact my loved ones. So this is pointless. So I want to go, and I want to pack up my shit, and I want to head home. And they were not being like that helpful. And then when they finally, about an hour or so went by, and I finally got relief, and they were like, on the way to the shuttle that was taking me back to camp, everyone was calling me 20-hour guy. It's like, oh, you're the 20-hour guy? 20-hour guy. Save some hours for the rest of us, man. I was like, and I was just so like mentally and physically fatigued. I was just like, just get me the fuck home. And one of the bosses was like, if you worked Coachella, you would work 21 plus hours. And I was like, okay, but we're not working Coachella, so whatever.
Yeah, and they would like pay you a lot more if you were working Coachella.
I don't know. That's remained to be seen. Who knows? Who cares? I just wanted to go home. So that was last summer for security. Probably won't do that event again. Moving forward from fucking work talk, we're here to talk about hardcore. I know this was a surprise episode where I wasn't expecting you to come and hang out with me. So this is kind of cool. You were not in the studio when we were doing it, but we did our interview. We just played our interview with Denial of Life. Shout out to them. Shout out to Tacoma crossover.
Shout out Tacoma.
Like people like rep it. They straight up rep Tacoma, and we we'll talk about it in just a second. But we'll talk about the songs that we just played. We started off that set after Denial of Life. We played Echelon, a band from Atlanta, Georgia, just kind of straight up rock and roll influenced hardcore punk with some nice like little rock and roll style leads. And I've been I feel like a couple of people have denounced some hardcore people denounced that rock and roll influence, but I personally have been in a season where I like the real rock and roll influenced punk hardcore demos, and because rock and roll, brother. So check out Echelon, free on their Bandcamp to download. And after that, we did play the track we played from Echelon was Mission to Kill, and then we played what did we play? We played Grand Scheme, a new release on Advanced Perspective Records. That's what you would think, what you expect from like a Cali style hardcore band. like has those Cali two steps, just like kind of like Dare, a little bit different on the vocal side, but definitely that same vibe is present in this demo. The Grand Scheme demo, we played Social Bait, and then we finished up the set with another demo from Repeat Offender. This band doesn't even fucking say where this band is from. Says United States. You're not fucking helpful. And I'm not looking it up.
You're looking up where the United States are?
Yeah, let's look at I'm gonna see all the dots of coronavirus.
Stop talking about the coronavirus.
I'm sorry. It's repeat. Okay, it says California, so somewhere in California.
California, United States.
California, United States. The United States of California. So another straight up kind of definitely has a 80 A6 mentalities type style to the music. So a little, but I'm not gonna say. I'd have to re-listen to see like if I really hear the California in it, but I didn't hear as much California the first time around listening to Repeat Offender. I like the simple artwork, dude getting stabbed in the back with a dagger on the ground right in front of a brick wall.
Damn, so sick.
So could be. I don't know if that's what's happening in the streets of California right now, but if it is, like, it looks like it says Repeat Offender in blood or graffiti. I'm going to guess that they stabbed him and used his blood and put it on those bricks.
Damn.
And I'm just like, Cali's getting really fucking hard in 2020.
Oh, yeah.
So, what were we going to talk about? Oh yeah, so you weren't in on our conversation. We're going to leave the podcast unnamed, but you're the one who told me about this before. Like, we had our guests in before you came in, and I didn't know you're coming in, and we were talking about this stupid ass podcast. And I'm just like, I get it, like. You can say whatever you want. It's your opinions, and I guess that they want to show people who are big on, just like mainstream music fans or rock fans, that their bands are not as good as they think they are. And I guess that's cool. But I'm just like, some of the reference points of the bands that they do like were not that good to begin with.
But, like, some of them were, though.
Some of them were.
But, yeah, not all of them, definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, like, the whole, like, sticking up your glass, like, pushing up your glasses and telling us what good music is. I think it was the Black Sabbath one that really...
Yeah, I tried to, like, not listen to their opinions on bands that I actually liked. Because, I mean, if I did, it would almost be, like, debating them, like... in the car, like that, like when you're like trying to like argue with a brick wall. That's kind of what it felt like.
And it's just like, and obviously there's going to be people who like argue, and some of their points are good, but some of them are obvious. Like,
I
talked a little bit in the interview about Metallica, because like a lot of course, like I'm just like, how can you not like you can be a Metallica fan or be a fan and understand that there are inconsistent careers.
Mm-hmm.
Like that they're most, like, Saint Anger was a fucking mess.
It was a hot ass.
It was
mess.
the worst. It was one of the worst things ever. But, like, I don't know. I just like, who the fuck are you? It's like, these are things that that most people already fucking know. I guess the thing, they're trying to appeal to the podcast crowd of other rock and mainstream music fans, that these things suck.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it just like builds more like just resentment to music, and I'm just like, I think this kind of like, I hate this type shit, and like kind of reiterating message board bullshit kind of doesn't help other like music fans progress, because there's a lot of people who just like to complain about music, and this is just making, there's more, like in the world of rock, there's more complaint than there is growth with bigger bands.
Oh yeah,
which is why we have this stagnant, because people want to stay stuck in a certain age and complain and complain and complain. And I think it's okay to have an objective point of view when you're listening to music if you don't like it. But why do we need to be fixated?
And I think like their whole format is they just take like mainstream popular bands and just attack them because of their status as a mainstream, band type of thing.
Yeah.
They wouldn't like go to like a, let's say like a big, like, underground type of band and, attack them like that. They just can get away with it because, they're mainstream. And I think their whole theory is like most mainstream bands suck, which, it's a hot take, needless to say, there's bands that,
but also some of those bands influence the smaller bands.
Exactly.
They talk about Slayer, Black Sabbath, who inspired a ton of fucking other bands.
Oh yeah, dude.
So I'm just like, and like I already talked about this earlier in the episode, so I don't have to say. I just wanted to get your take on it, because you've been diving into the world of podcasts lately.
Yeah. No, sometimes these drives get like really, really fun. But yeah, no, I've just been kind of exploring it out there, and I just stumbled on, the one that we're talking about, and it was just like, yikes. Especially the Black Sabbath one.
Yeah, that one pissed me off. It's just like, it's easy to be like all about it if it's a band that you don't like, but then when it is, it's just like, so just like, I do get that they go across the board. I just like I don't know. I don't have the time for that. I want to, as someone who does a lot of music like that, like try to do a lot of new music and underground music. I don't have any time in my headspace for shit like this. So we're pretty much finished. We're gonna end with a band called Prison Manic. It was this was a submission. You can always submit to us, deadairnwcz@gmail.com. Also, deadairnwcz, both at Twitter and Instagram. I've been trying to do the Twitter a little bit more this week, so you're welcome. Facebook.com/deadairhardcoreradio. And then you can go to our website that ties all that shit together, deadairhardcoreradio.com. So many ways to listen, stream, and keep up with us. And this band self-describes themselves, and I hear it with influences such as Quicksand and Helmet, Rage Against the Machine, stuff like this. This is a band from Vancouver, Washington, and I haven't heard too many bands from Vancouver, Washington in forever, and it kind of reminds me of when Foundation played in Vancouver with Harness in 2013.
Oh yeah.
And everybody was knocking over the fucking merch tables. That the anniversary, the 7-year anniversary of that tour just happened like a couple days ago. So, and somebody shared that on Twitter, and that was crazy to think about how fucking long ago that was. I still considered myself a youngin' at that point. But yeah, not a lot of output in my mind from Vancouver. So we're gonna hit this track. It's a 3-song demo for free. Check out, support. We did a lot of low key artists tonight, such as like Denial of Life and a lot of the bands that are kind of a little more off the grid. Not a lot of social media or stuff on these bands, so check them out. So we'll be back next week. You're listening to Dead Air, Trials of Hardcore Radio. Any last words, Chris?
I don't got anything to plug, but just pay attention to the world that's around you. Things are always happening. Don't be the one that's under the rock. Be aware. The edge has not gone dull. The end.
Period.